Welcome into Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. I'm Meghan Payton. We want to take a moment real quick to thank all of you for helping us get to 23,000 subscribers. We appreciate all of you that are subscribed to our channel. And for those of you that are not, we are now starting the road to 24,000. So if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe today. We're going to keep you guys updated all season long. We've got some trade ideas coming up for you as the trade deadline approaches. NFL trade deadline is November 2nd, so now's when things start really circling around the league. We start hearing about more things, stuff starts happening, and so we've decided here at Chat Sports, why don't we give you guys some of our ideas, some trade options. You guys can be the judge. Tell us if you like them, if you would take them, who wins the trade. We've got a few that we've come up with. First one is Seahawks Receive Xavien Howard. I like it a lot already. Seahawks receive Xavien Howard. They give up, though, a second-round pick this year. So, obviously, that's a little bit hard to do. You know, Xavien Howard obviously deserves that, though. So far in 2021, he has had 21 tackles, 9 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, and 1 forced fumble. But, I mean, you could say he hasn't had as great of a season so far as last year. He's already allowed 5 touchdowns this season, 3 against the Bucs, though. So in 2020, though, obviously a very impressive play by him. 55 tackles, 20 pass breakups, 10 interceptions, and 1 forced fumble. So having a guy like Xavien Howard on your roster would be great. I hate losing an early pick, but I really like Xavien Howard. So to me, this is someone that would maybe be worth it. If you guys don't remember, we obviously don't have our first round pick. That's Jamal Adams. He took that back when they made that deal before the 2020 season. But I think someone like him, Xavien Howard, would be worth it. We've talked a lot about the cornerback room this season, and it is improving. We've seen, some good stuff out of Trey Brown, but, Pete Carroll hasn't really decided that he's going to be the starter. We see Sidney Jones and him. They're shifting a lot, going back and forth. DJ Reed is doing pretty good. We've got Ugo Amadi at nickel, but, obviously you compare any of these guys to Xavien Howard, and, he clearly outplays all of them. So to me, this could be worth it. If the Seahawks are taking the approach that maybe they should be, which is we've got to win this year, we've got to do something crazy to make the playoffs, maybe this is the right idea. But I do want to ask you guys, who do you think wins this trade? Do you think the Seahawks are giving up too much for Xavien Howard, or do you think that the Dolphins are kind of losing by just getting a second-round pick? Whoever you think wins, let me know in the comments. Type SEA for Seahawks or type MIA for the Dolphins. Moving on, though, to trade idea number 2. Seahawks receive a 2022 6th-round pick, and the Panthers receive L.J. Collier. Now, he's been a name that has obviously been pretty high up on the talks for the Seahawks to get rid of. Ian Rappaport updated us saying that the Seahawks actually have had discussions about trading Collier. So it's definitely a real possibility, which is kind of sad because he was a former first-round pick. He's been a healthy scratch 4 out of the 6 games this year, and he just ultimately hasn't been either performing the way that they hoped, or they just can't use him the way that they'd like to. He has 2 years left on his rookie contract, but to me, a guy like this, you're not using him anyway. You're not going to get much out of him, but it's at least something. So my vote is, hey, you've already talked about trading him. Now keeping him on the team where he's not really happy, not probably worth it. Get a 6th-round pick. Maybe you're getting a 7th. But I like this trade deal. Panthers could use, I think, a little bit more depth in that area. So I'd say go for it. And another thing you guys should go for is this BetUS promo that they have for you guys. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, let me just tell you, if you are going to be betting at all, they are the best sports book to bet through. They right now, if you use the code Seahawks125, sign up, create an account, you're going to get a 125% deposit bonus. All you got to do, put up $100. That turns into $225. Now you got a free $125 to bet on whatever you'd like. And if you are new to BetUS, here's something else for you. You can get a free Seahawks jersey. You've got your choice between DK Metcalf or Russell Wilson. Follow the steps that we just said. Sign up, use the promo code, put $100 in your account. It's going to turn into $225. Then just email jersey@chatsports.com for this jersey deal by the end of the month. This is a great deal, guys. Get your jersey, rep Seahawks. They might not be doing great right now, but let's show some Seahawks love. Next trade option we have for you guys is the Seahawks receive running back Marlon Mack. In return, the Colts will get a 2022 7th round pick and a 2023 6th round pick. So, hey, I know right now we're dealing with a little bit of problems on the run game. Now, Alex Collins has performed okay. Chris Carson, obviously on IR. We do not know when he is going to be back, but Marlon Mack is someone that I think could really help the Seahawks. He's had so far 28 carries, 101 yards, an average of 3.6. So these stats don't look great, but he's not getting the playing time in Indianapolis. They've already decided on their top guys, but look what he did in 2019. In just 14 games, he had 247 carries, over 1,000 yards, average of 4.4 and 8 touchdowns. To me, this would absolutely be worth it. If the Seahawks are taking the approach of we want to win this year, this is what we're going to talk about as we get into things is, all right, you've got Chris Carson on IR. Are you going to, try to replace him right now so you have a better chance at winning this year? Or are you guys going to be on the side of, hey, let's, sell some guys, get some draft picks, and then we can think about next year? Alex Collins, though, performing well in Chris Carson's place. I think the Seahawks might have used him a little bit too much last week, but they're not in a terrible situation with running backs. Obviously, Rashaad Penny, another option that they have, but I don't think it's a bad idea. What do you guys think, though? Should Seattle trade for a running back? Type Y for yes or type N for no. If the deal's right, I think go for it. Trade idea number 4. The Seahawks receive Melvin Ingram, and the Steelers get a 6th round pick in 2022. Now, Melvin Ingram, many of you guys might be thinking right now, like, where has he been? What has he been doing? Well, the Steelers really just haven't been utilizing him much. They haven't found a great place for him. He's kind of come in here and there in most games, but not getting a lot of playing time. So, we can assume Melvin Ingram probably isn't happy in Pittsburgh. He's obviously declining to some degree. If you guys don't remember, he spent 9 years at the Chargers. So he's someone that I think, the Seahawks could add an edge player in general, but he's someone that is a veteran that can kind of lead the locker room, I think help out. We obviously know that the Seahawks defense is struggling to some degree, and his performance isn't amazing, but it's a good veteran to have. My vote is you take a guy like this, give up not too much for him. But now we're going to get into a trade that many of you guys might have some of your own thoughts on, but I'm saying this right now so you guys do not get upset in the comments. This is an emergency trade if Russ misses time. So let me repeat myself. This is not a trade the Seahawks should do if Russell Wilson is going to be back for week 10. But if for some reason there's something else going on and we find out that he is going to be missing an extended period of time, here's my option. Seahawks receive Marcus Mariota, and in return, the Raiders get Rashaad Penny. I'm sorry, guys. And they get a 2022 7th round pick. Now, here's my initial thoughts. Marcus Mariota, a much better backup than Geno Smith, just from what we've seen. Now, he hasn't played a lot this year at all. We thought that Gruden originally was going to use him in certain packages. Well, obviously, Gruden's not with the team anymore. They didn't use him last week against the Broncos, but look at his career stats. He's had 13,433 yards, a 62.9 completion percentage, not bad for a backup quarterback, 77 touchdowns, 45 interceptions, not fantastic. But, if you're in a dire need or you need a quarterback, Russell Wilson's going to be out for a while. You're realizing Geno Smith maybe isn't performing like you'd like him to. This could be an option, but I will repeat myself. I am not saying that the Seahawks should do this if Russell Russell's going to be back by the Packers game or even the week after. And some of you might be hating on me giving up Rashaad Penny in this trade, but I do think that Alex Collins is a better back. And here's why. Really, Rashaad Penny, we can't judge properly because he's constantly getting injured. So he's playing through injury, and that's a problem that the Seahawks are dealing with right now. Is with Chris Carson on IR, both Alex Collins and Rashaad Penny are kind of struggling with injuries. So I don't even know if the Raiders would take this trade because of the injuries that come along with Penny. But if that was to happen, who would you rather have as your backup quarterback? Would you rather have Geno Smith or would you rather have Marcus Mariota? Type GS for Geno or type MM for Marcus Mariota. And guys, as the trade deadline approaches November 2nd, we promise we're going to have much more news for you guys and get your own trade thoughts too. And if you have other ideas, let us know in the comments. But things are going to get crazy here in the next couple of weeks, and we will be sure to update you all.